There's something unsettling about a person who can't be shaken. Someone who stares down disaster, watches everything they build crumble, feels the sting of betrayal cut deep, things that would shatter the average person, and yet they don't flinch. No desperate scrambling to fix the unfixable. No pleading for understanding. No collapse under the weight of it all. They don't break. They don't panic. They don't beg for sympathy. And the most terrifying part, it's not that they don't feel pain. They do. The loss, the disappointment, the agony. It all rages inside them like a wildfire. But they refuse to let it control them. While others sink, they rise. While others surrender, they keep going. Not because they are unscathed, but because they choose to move forward, carrying their pain like armor instead of chains. Most people don't have that kind of mental strength. The slightest setback rattles them, derails their plans, makes them question everything. A little discomfort sends them scrambling for an escape, anything to avoid the weight of struggle. They live at the mercy of their emotions, swayed by every doubt, every impulse, every fear. Instead of facing their battles, they chase distractions, mindless entertainment, empty pleasures, quick fixes that offer temporary relief, but no real solution. They silence the discomfort, not by overcoming it, but by drowning it out. Here's the truth: numbing the struggle doesn't build resilience, it erodes it. Every time you choose the easy way out, you reinforce weakness. And weakness isn't just something you're born with, it's something you allow. A habit, a conditioned response, a pattern of avoidance. But like any habit, it can be broken. And once you break it, once you stop running, you realize the struggle wasn't the enemy. It was the path to strength all along. By the time this is over, you won't just understand mental strength, you'll embody it. A mind so unshakable that no setback, no failure, no betrayal will have the power to break you. People will look at you and wonder how you stay so composed, how you keep moving forward when everything around you is falling apart. But it won't be some secret trick. It will be a choice, a habit, a way of being. You'll stop making excuses, stop looking for the easy way out, and start embracing the struggle as fuel. Because hardship won't be something you fear, it'll be something you master. If you're ready for that, let's begin. The first thing you need to understand is that mental toughness isn't some rare gift. It's not an accident of genetics or luck. It's built through pressure, through hardship, through the relentless act of refusing to break. Strength isn't something you either have or don't have. It's forged in the fire of resistance. It's what happens when you face adversity head-on, when you push through the moments that threaten to undo you, when you choose discipline over comfort, action over excuses. Your mind is just like a muscle. Leave it untested, and it stays fragile. Avoid struggle, and it withers. But challenge it, push it past its limits, force it to adapt, and it becomes something unstoppable. And the fastest way to develop an indestructible mindset: shift how you see struggle, not as an enemy, but as the training ground for the kind of strength most people never reach. Most people think hardship is a curse, something to avoid at all costs. They see challenges as roadblocks, failures as proof that they weren't good enough, struggles as signs to turn back. But that kind of thinking guarantees weakness. It traps them in a cycle of fear, avoidance, and excuses. Because the truth is, everything you're afraid of, the setbacks, the failures, the painful moments that shake your confidence, isn't there to destroy you. It's there to shape you. Every challenge you overcome makes you harder to break. Every failure, every misstep, every moment of doubt teaches you something most people will never understand: how to endure, how to adapt, how to rise stronger than before. So struggle isn't your enemy, it's your training ground. And the moment you stop seeing it as something to fear, the moment you recognize that it's forging you instead of breaking you, everything changes. Your mindset shifts, your limits expand, and suddenly, nothing seems impossible. Think about the people you admire, the ones who seem untouchable, unshakable, almost superhuman in their ability to handle anything life throws at them. Do you think they got that way by avoiding pain, by choosing comfort over challenge, by taking the easy route every time things got hard? No, they were tested, pushed to their limits, broken down, humiliated, exhausted to the point where most people would have quit. They were told they weren't good enough, that they'd never make it, that the odds were against them. And yet, instead of running, instead of folding under pressure, they stood their ground. They took every hit, every failure, every moment of doubt, and used it as fuel. That's what made them strong. That's what made them different. Not talent, not luck, not some special advantage, just the relentless refusal to break. So here's the reality. If you want to be mentally unbreakable, you have to stop running from pain. You have to stop seeing hardship as something to avoid, as if comfort is the ultimate goal. Because every time you take the easy way out, you're reinforcing weakness. Every time you procrastinate, avoid, or back down, you're teaching your mind that quitting is an option. But every time you push through, every time you do the hard thing, even when you don't feel like it, you're reinforcing strength. It's that simple. Growth and struggle are inseparable. You cannot have one without the other. The moment you start embracing the pain, the discomfort, the uncertainty, everything changes. You stop flinching. You stop hesitating. You become something else entirely. Now, let's get one thing straight. There are things you're doing right now that are destroying your mental toughness. If you want to build an unshakable mind, these habits need to go. First, stop complaining. Complaining is mental poison. It doesn't fix anything. It just reinforces the idea that you're powerless. If something is wrong, change it. If you can't change it, accept it. But sitting around feeling sorry for yourself, that makes you weak. Second, stop chasing comfort. Growth and comfort cannot coexist. If you always choose the easy way, you'll always be fragile. Stop avoiding difficult situations. Stop making decisions based on what feels good in the moment. And stop telling yourself you'll start tomorrow. Strength is built in discomfort. Third, stop making excuses. Weak people justify their failures. They blame circumstances, other people, bad luck, anything but themselves. But the truth is, your life is your responsibility. No one is coming to save you. The sooner you accept that, the sooner you start building real power. Now, let's talk about what actually builds mental strength. The daily habits that separate the weak from the strong. First, face discomfort every single day. The easiest way, cold exposure. Most people avoid discomfort at all costs. That's why something as simple as stepping into an ice-cold shower every morning rewires your brain. It forces you to override resistance, to act despite discomfort. That's mental toughness in its simplest form. Next, train your body. There is a direct connection between physical and mental resilience. If your body is weak, your mind will be weak. Strengthen one, and the other follows. Push yourself in the gym. Lift weights. Run when you don't feel like it. Your body is capable of more than you think. And training it teaches your mind that pain is not a reason to stop. Another game changer. Meditation. Most people let their emotions control them because they've never learned to observe them. Meditation isn't about relaxation. It's about control. It teaches you how to step back, analyze your thoughts, and stop reacting impulsively. When you learn to master your own mind, nothing can shake you. And finally, do something difficult every single day. It doesn't have to be huge. Wake up earlier than you want to. Push through an extra set at the gym. Have that uncomfortable conversation you've been avoiding. Every day, choose one thing that forces you to stretch beyond your comfort zone. That's how mental strength is built, not in grand gestures, but in the small, consistent choices you make. Now, let's talk about controlling your emotions, because mental strength isn't just about enduring discomfort. It's about mastering yourself. Weak people let their emotions dictate their actions. They react instead of responding, but strong people, they pause, they observe, they take control. The simplest way to do this, when you feel a strong emotion, anger, frustration, fear, stop, breathe. Give yourself 5 seconds before reacting. That tiny moment of pause puts you back in control. And control is everything. The truth is, most people let failure define them. They see it as proof that they're not good enough. But the strongest minds, they don't just accept failure, they embrace it, because they understand that every failure is data, it's feedback, it's a lesson. The most successful people in the world have failed more times than most people have even tried. If you failed recently, good. That means you're learning. The only real failure is giving up. And here's something most people will never understand. Pain is inevitable. but suffering is a choice. Life will throw things at you, things you never saw coming. Betrayal, loss, heartbreak, but suffering. That happens when you resist reality, when you fight against what is instead of adapting. The moment you accept that life is unpredictable, that hardship is unavoidable, you take away its power over you. So what's the final key? Discipline. Not motivation, discipline. Weak people rely on motivation. They wait until they feel like doing something, and that's why they fail. Motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes. But discipline? That's the ability to do what needs to be done, no matter what. Some days you'll be energized. Other days you won't want to do anything. But if you build discipline, it won't matter. You'll act anyway. And here's where most people fail. They set goals, but they don't build systems. A goal is just a target. A system is the process that gets you there. If you want to be mentally unbreakable, you don't just decide. You create the habits that make it inevitable. Strength isn't built in one moment. It's built in the moments when no one is watching. Right now, you have a choice. You can close this and go back to your usual habits. Or you can decide that today is the day you change. The day you stop waiting for the perfect moment and start acting. Because the truth is, you're already stronger than you think. You've survived things you thought would break you. And if you keep pushing forward, you'll become something most people will never be. Mentally unstoppable. Now, if this was helpful, hit the subscribe button for more.